A Silver Dish is a 1978 short story by American Nobel laureate Saul Bellow, which made its debut in The New Yorker. The narrative follows 60-year-old Chicago businessman Woody Selbst as he grapples with the passing of his father, a swindler and minor thief. This tale was included in a collection of Bellow's stories titled Him with His Foot in His Mouth, released in 1984. The story commences with Woody's contemplation of his father's demise. He ponders the challenge of mourning his octogenarian father in a modern context. Reflecting on past memories, Woody recalls a Thanksgiving when he shared a hashish-stuffed turkey with his father, which he had brought back from an African trip. A vivid recollection of witnessing a buffalo calf's demise at the jaws of a Nile crocodile also comes to mind. Woody's thoughts encompass his mother, who converted from Judaism to Christianity, his spinster Christian sisters who he believes are mentally unstable, his atheist father, and his father's partner Helena, a devoted Catholic. Traditionally, Woody split his weekends between his mother's residence on Saturdays and his father's on Sundays. However, this Sunday marks his return home after an extended absence, causing the church bells to startle him. Stirred by the bell's toll, he reflects on his time at a seminary. During that period, he was affiliated with a Christian mission led by his uncle, Reverend Dr. Kovner, who had converted from Judaism and was married to Woody's Aunt Rebecca. The mission received financial support from the affluent widow Mrs. Skoglund. Exhibiting a special interest in Woody, Mrs. Skoglund sponsored his education at the seminary. Woody's thoughts carry him further back, recalling the day his father abandoned his mother, taking away the money he had earned as a 14-year-old caddy. Despite recognizing Dr. Kovner's moral rectitude and his father's fraudulent nature, Woody always harbored greater empathy for his father. He recalls how Pop had been forsaken by his family in Liverpool, England, and embarked on a voyage to America as a stowaway. During Woody's childhood, Aunt Rebecca used to compensate him for delivering sermons in church about his conversion from Judaism. Woody often grappled with feelings of hypocrisy during these moments, exacerbated by Aunt Rebecca's comparison of him to his father, labeling him a crook, just like your father. A genuine religious encounter stands out in Woody's memories, a moment he experienced while earning money by hauling rickshaws at fairgrounds. During this instance, he was overwhelmed by the conviction that the world was intended to be a realm of love, a sentiment emanating from the divine. Returning to the present, Woody contemplates dissipating his grief through a jog but gets sidetracked by memories of his father's final moments, characterized by a futile attempt to remove his intravenous drip. The tolling bells cease, prompting Woody to delve into a detailed recollection of a time when his father, Pop, approached him urgently, uttering the words, "I'm in trouble. It's bad." This meeting occurred at a snooker club where Pop requested Woody's presence. The backdrop was a crisis involving Helena, Pop's partner, who had taken funds from her husband Buyik to settle one of Pop's gambling debts. Fearing Buyik's wrath, Pop implored Woody to accompany him to Mrs. Skoglund's residence, where he aimed to secure a loan. Woody agreed, and the two embarked on a journey through a blizzard to reach Mrs. Skoglund's house. Upon arrival, they were met with skepticism by the maid, Geordies, who escorted them to the front room. Woody conveyed Pop's request to Mrs. Skoglund, with Pop adding his own plea. Mrs. Skoglund, seeking guidance through prayer, excused herself along with Geordies. In their absence, Pop managed to pick the lock of a cabinet and pilfer a silver dish, concealing it in his pants. Woody implored him to return the stolen item, resulting in a physical struggle between father and son. However, Woody ultimately hesitated to retrieve the dish from his father's pants and released him. Pop promised to restore the dish should Mrs. Skoglund grant the loan. Upon Mrs. Skoglund's return, she extended an offer to write Pop a check. Woody employs a diversion to occupy Mrs. Skoglund and Geordies, affording Pop the opportunity to return the stolen dish. During their absence, Woody inquires if Pop returned the dish, to which Pop affirms that he did. They proceed to cash the check the following day. However, a week later, the truth surfaces: the dish was never returned. This revelation leads to Woody's expulsion from seminary. Confronting his father, Woody is met with Pop's assertion that his actions were aimed at protecting him from the company of hypocrites. In the present, Woody contemplates how the theft was intertwined with Pop's personal war against Woody's mother. Vivid recollections of his African escapades resurface, with the image of the buffalo calf's demise lingering in his mind. The persistent weight of his grief prompts Woody to consider jogging as a release, triggering a recollection of his rickshaw driving days and the revelation that the Earth's purpose was to be permeated by goodness. The narrative then delves into Woody's poignant memory of his father's last moments, recalling his efforts to remove his four. Woody recollects climbing into Pop's bed, physically restraining him to thwart his intent of hastening death. As Pop eventually passes away, it feels as if the old man has once again managed to elude Woody's grasp, a characteristic behavior he had displayed throughout his life. A silver dish traverses themes of familial affection, religious convictions, and American identity. Widely acknowledged as one of Saul Bellow's notable short stories, it offers an exploration of these themes. Bellow's acclaimed novels, such as Herzog and Henderson The Rain King, are universally recognized as significant achievements in American fiction. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.